Hello, and welcome to Module 1 of our accessibility training. This video focuses on defining accessibility and emphasizing its importance. To start, let's consider what we mean by accessibility. The Accessibility Glossary, produced by the Government of Canada's Translation Bureau, defines an accessible website as a website that follows web content accessibility guidelines and that allows persons with disabilities to use assistive technologies, including text-to-speech software, to enable and assist with web browsing. While the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines offer valuable guidance on how to design your website, let's focus for now on the importance of enabling access for persons with disabilities. You might think that disability is uncommon, and therefore believe that an inaccessible website would only impact a few users. There are several issues with this way of thinking. First, disability is much more common than many people realize. In Canada, 22% of people over 15 years of age have one or more disabilities. At Carleton, 10.9% of students are registered with the Paul Menton Centre as having a disability. Another 25% seek accommodations for temporary or ongoing disabilities directly from faculty. And 6.4% of the Carleton workforce identify with a disability. One reason why some underestimate the prevalence of disability is because of another assumption, that disabilities are always immediately and obviously apparent. This is not true. Some disabilities are categorized as hidden or invisible disabilities because they are often not perceived by others. This then leads to the person with the disability holding an unfair share of responsibility to educate others on their disability and to self-advocate for support. Another false assumption some make is that designing websites that accommodate users with disabilities is to the detriment of users without disabilities. With properly implemented accessibility-focused design, this is not the case. As an example, consider inventions like the automatic door. This device creates access for the entire community, from students carrying armfuls of textbooks, to delivery people, to anyone with a mobility or dexterity impairment. Accessible website design works in much the same way to increase usability and accessibility for every user. In short, accessible websites are good websites. As new virtual spaces are created and come into use, these environments pose new challenges, too often furthering a digital divide between those who can access them and those who cannot. This digital divide marginalizes website users with disabilities. And while digital exclusion is a much larger and more complex issue, designing your website with accessibility in mind is one small step you can take to further inclusion and help bridge this digital divide. While the top priority of accessibility is to enable access to persons with disabilities, there are a variety of secondary benefits that stem from implementing design practices that enhance accessibility. Besides enabling prospective students with disabilities to access our Carleton websites, accessible websites demonstrate a commitment to providing digital access and support. A student who knows that their needs will be supported at Carleton is much more likely to consider joining our community than one who is unintentionally being excluded from our digital spaces. Similarly to the previous point, enacting our commitment to accessibility both enhances our reputation as well as sets a standard for other institutions. We can lead by example to help accessibility become a standard practice in digital communities. Institutions and businesses have been sued for having inaccessible content. Preemptively seeking to eliminate inaccessible content both removes the need for legal action, as well as the likelihood of an experience with our websites that would lead a user to file such a lawsuit. Under the 2005 Access for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, AODA, Carleton has legal obligations to meet in terms of making things accessible. We'll discuss the requirements of the AODA later on in this module. Many best practices for accessibility also make web pages more attractive to search engines, encouraging them to direct more relevant traffic to your site. As we discussed above, accessible websites are good websites. Accessible sites increase usability and create better overall virtual experiences for everyone.